You don't not about to let my little bro f the money out.
I know that.
I love him. And
I know that.
Keep them space. Cause they gonna give him like 200, 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole plan.
Drama between NBA. Youngboy and Birdman has officially reached a breaking point, and for the first time, Youngboy isn't staying silent. After years of behind-the-scenes tension, contractual disputes, and whispered resentment, Youngboy is finally publicly speaking out about what he calls being finessed, taken advantage of by one of the biggest figures in hip-hop mogul history. Birdman has long been seen as a kingmaker, the man who could build careers, break artists, and create generational wealth. But now Youngboy claims there was a dark underside to that partnership. Promises made, money owed, control exerted, and loyalty exploited. Tonight we're breaking down every angle of what Youngboy is alleging, from contracts and advances to royalties and creative freedom. We'll look at the history of their relationship, what Youngboy is publicly saying now, why this matters in the larger rap industry, and how it reflects on power, exploitation, and generational divides in hip-hop business. Whether you're a fan, a critic, or somewhere in between, this story has layers, financial, personal, cultural, that go far beyond the headlines. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just what was said, but why it's such a big deal. Stay tuned. The streets and the boardrooms are both watching this play out. From the very beginning, the relationship between NBA Youngboy and Birdman was framed as something powerful and transformative. It was presented as a moment where raw talent met industry experience, where a young artist from Baton Rouge was given a platform by a man who had already shaped the careers of legends. At the time, it made sense. Birdman had history, connections, and a reputation for spotting stars early. Youngboy had hunger, authenticity, and an unmatched work ethic. Together, it looked like the perfect formula. But what the public saw was only the surface, and beneath that surface, cracks were already forming. Youngboy's rise was fast and relentless. He was releasing music at a pace that few artists could maintain, let alone survive. Albums, mixtapes, singles, features, all dropping, one after another. Streaming numbers were exploding, fan loyalty was growing stronger, and his presence in hip-hop culture became unavoidable. Yet despite all this visible success, there was a strange feeling that something was off. Decisions around releases did not always align with momentum. Songs would vanish, projects would stall. Moments that should have been maximized felt strangely muted. Fans noticed it before anyone else did. As time went on, Youngboy began to sound less like an artist enjoying his success and more like someone trapped inside it. His social media presence shifted. The joy was replaced with frustration, the excitement with exhaustion. People close to him hinted that business complications were draining him. In the music industry, control is everything, and Youngboy did not appear to have much of it. Contracts signed early in a career often come with long-term consequences, especially when an artist signs before fully understanding their value. This is where many believe the imbalance began. Birdman's role in all of this has become the center of intense scrutiny. For decades, his name has been associated with both massive success and deep controversy. Stories from past artists have painted a complicated picture, one where opportunity and exploitation sometimes existed side by side. When Youngboy started suggesting that he had been finessed, it immediately reopened those old conversations. People began connecting dots, comparing timelines, and revisiting past disputes that never fully disappeared from hip-hop history. The word finessed carries weight. It implies more than a bad deal. It suggests intention, strategy, and someone benefiting quietly while another person does the work. Youngboy's fans took this seriously because they had watched him grind nonstop. They had seen him carry labels on his back through sheer output. So when he implied that the rewards did not match the effort, it felt believable. Many began asking how someone so dominant could still feel powerless. Financial control is often the quietest form of control. Even when money is being made, the question is who decides where it goes and when it moves. There are strong indications that Youngboy did not fully control his masters, his publishing, or even the timing of his releases. For an artist whose creativity thrives on freedom, this kind of structure can feel like a cage. Every delay becomes personal. Every blocked release feels like sabotage. Over time, that frustration builds into resentment. Birdman, meanwhile, maintained distance. There were no detailed explanations, no transparent breakdowns, no clear attempts to calm the storm. That silence only intensified public suspicion. In the modern era, silence is rarely neutral. It can be interpreted as confidence, but it can also be seen as avoidance. Youngboy, on the other hand, did not sound calculated. He sounded emotional, tired, and fed up. That difference in tone shaped public perception almost instantly. This situation also highlights a much larger issue in the music industry. Young artists often sign deals at their most vulnerable moments. They come from difficult backgrounds, they are desperate for opportunity, and they trust those who promise guidance. By the time they realize the cost of those promises, they are already locked into agreements that are difficult to escape. Youngboy's story feels familiar because it echoes the experiences of many artists before him. The names change, but the patterns stay the same. As Youngboy continued to speak out, fans began revisiting Birdman's past more aggressively. Old lawsuits, old interviews, and old accusations resurfaced across social media. People who had once defended Birdman now questioned whether history was repeating itself. Even those who tried to stay neutral admitted that the pattern was uncomfortable. When the same type of complaints follow someone across decades, it becomes harder to dismiss them as coincidence. At the same time, there were those who argued that Birdman provided the platform that helped Youngboy reach global success. They pointed out that infrastructure, marketing, and industry access are not free. They reminded people that without that machine, Youngboy might not have reached the same heights. This argument holds some truth, but it does not erase the core issue. Opportunity does not cancel out fairness. Success does not mean someone was treated correctly behind the scenes. What makes Youngboy's situation especially powerful is his honesty. He has never tried to present himself as perfect. His music has always been raw, emotional, and unfiltered. When someone like that speaks about feeling used, it resonates deeply. It does not sound like strategy. It sounds like pain, and that pain has become a rallying point for fans who are tired of seeing artists lose control of their own voices. There is also a generational shift happening in hip-hop. Newer artists are more aware, more vocal, and less willing to accept old industry norms. Streaming has reduced the power of traditional gatekeepers. Social media has given artists direct access to their audiences. Youngboy speaking out is part of this larger movement. It is not just about Birdman. It is about an industry that still operates on outdated power dynamics. As the tension grew, the lack of resolution became more frustrating. There was no clear ending, no public settlement, no moment of closure. Instead, there was distance, silence, and unresolved anger. Youngboy's independence became more visible. His desire to control his future grew stronger. Every move he made seemed to signal that he was done being managed by anyone who did not have his best interests at heart. This situation has also changed how fans listen to his music. Lyrics that once felt emotional now feel revealing. Lines about trust, betrayal, and control carry new meaning. What once sounded like general pain now sounds specific. Fans analyze every bar, every post, every absence. The story has become layered, and the music has become part of the evidence. Birdman's legacy is now being re-examined through a modern lens. In an era where transparency matters more than image, old-school silence does not work the way it used to. Whether Birdman responds or not, the conversation has already shifted. Youngboy has altered the narrative by refusing to stay quiet. That alone has changed the power dynamic. In the end, this is not just a story about two individuals. It is a reflection of an industry that has long prioritized control over creativity. Youngboy's experience shines a light on the cost of early success and the danger of trusting systems that are not designed to protect artists. Regardless of how this situation resolves, its impact is already clear. Fans are more aware, artists are more cautious, and the old ways are being questioned more loudly than ever before, Youngboy is still speaking, and that voice carries weight. Not because he is perfect, not because he is flawless, but because he is honest. And in an industry built on contracts, power, and silence, honesty is the most dangerous thing of all. What do you think about NBA Youngboy's statement about Birdman finessing him? Is this a justified call-out or just another chapter in rap's ongoing label disputes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your perspective. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss deep dives like this on hip-hop news, controversies, and industry breakdowns. Share this video with a friend who follows Youngboy or Birdman. Let's get the conversation going, and stay tuned as this story continues to develop.